Hey everybody, welcome back. Wanted to show you guys the new kit that have already started, sort of. Got this kit off eBay. I'm an AMT guy, I guess. So it's one of my favorite kits, AMT. Of course, I'll get the next AMT kit. I'll probably get I'll hate, but anyway, I love AMT kits. 66 Olds 442. I have the 60. I've already built the 69 Olds 442, and then I just completed the 69 Olds Hurst 455. And I saw this one on eBay, and I'm like, oh, I want to get that one, and just to have as a sort of a series. Although this was an older one. Anyway, got this kit. The box was a little smushed on it, so when I opened it, I was thinking, oh no. But I saw the box damage in the ad, so it wasn't deceptive. But I've already got all my parts cut off the tree. I have left a few on that I can get away with, but I remove my parts and paint them individually, sort of. I don't like them hanging on a tree. I know I'm not the only guy who's talked about this lately, but I don't leave my parts hanging on a tree. Okay, it's a radiator. It's hanging on the tree, but I cut one leg off of it, and it's just going to be enough to. I'll touch that up, no problem. It's on the bottom of the radiator. I'm not going to leave my seats and my hood and all that stuff on there. Anyway, nevertheless, why am I even talking about that? I'm trying to justify, because I know people will say, why don't you? It takes a long time to build your kit if you don't leave them on the tree. I don't leave them on the tree. I'm not going to leave them on the tree. So anyway, done with that. Anyway, that was whatever. This is going to be fun. This is let me tell you what. You guys, we know Revell puts out a slick model kit. I mean, crisp lines. But I want to tell you what. This sucker right here is one of the cleanest bodies that I have had in a long time. I've done a little bit of scuff sanding on it, but other than that, a few little places. But oh man, this is a great kit. This is a really high quality kit, and it was from 2000, I believe. Let me see, 2004. So it's not terribly old. Well, it's not old at all. I mean, I have children that were born before 2004, and I'm not old. So anyway, it's not an old kit. It's not from the 70s or the early 80s or even the 90s. So it's from 2004. So, but man, jam up. AMT did a great job on this one. So I'm going to get started. I have glued just a few little parts together. The carburetors, the block, I've got it glued together, and I've got them all cut off. I like to use toothpicks, or let me show you guys real fast. I bought one of these things, and I've seen a lot of guys have them. Anyway, with the little alligator clips, and I've got more clips than that. Those things are really, really handy. I suggest, if you haven't got one of those, go get one of those. But anyway, I will get these parts painted. I'm going to prime the body, and I will do some sanding after the primer is dry. And I don't know what I'm going to include you guys on throughout this journey. I may film some painting. I don't know. Anyway, it's always fun to get started on a new kit. Thanks guys for coming along with me. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love for you to go over and hit the subscribe button. Also go to our Facebook group. It's having so much fun over there. Have you built the 1966 Olds 442? If you have, go over to our Facebook group and join, and post your pictures and of your builds. Anyway guys, we're going to get to it. Going to get some paint on this thing, and I'll get back to you in just a second. Alright, so I've got my body primed and sanded. Nice sand. I've got this really fine 5000 grit paper. I didn't wet sand it, but I don't want to wet sand primer, but I just went over it. Sanded it, got it good and smooth. It's ready to paint. I've mixed my paint. I'm using just testers, just gloss blue. That's all I'm going to use. I've got bright light blue, dark blue, but I'm just going to shoot it's going to lighten up too because I've got this white base, so it's going to be a light blue. I've already mixed it. 1 part paint, or 2 part paint, 1 part lacquer thinner, and I'm going to shoot it through my airbrush. So I'm going to kill the sound so you don't have to listen to my vacuum sucking out all the fumes, and we're going to put some paint on here. Stand by. Alright guys, back. Paint turned out good. Wouldn't say great, but did turn out good. Got the engine together. Got a lot, just paint. Mostly the paint is on everything. Got the wheels nice and black washed. They're looking great. Got the engine I chrome painted that, this breather cover. I looked at some pictures and it shows, well, at least on the box art, it had a chrome breather. I didn't really look at any real pictures, but I chromed it, and that darn paint that I use is so nice. So got the holes drilled for the plugs already, and I got the black wash on the engine to give it some natural shadowing. I actually got the carburetors painted brass, but you can't much tell the difference in the brass than you can the gold engine. But anyway, have the distributor right there. I have drilled it out. Here we go. I've drilled it out, and it's ready to receive some plug wires. And so I got to do some bare metal foil. I'll do some videoing of that. I'm going to I'll use a Q-tip. Here's a pointer. I'm going to paint the inner fender, or the under the hood will be black. Once I get my bare metal foil, I will give a black headliner with I use the acrylic black flat acrylic paint. And also, like my last build, because the exhaust, which I have behind me, you can't see them, but because the exhausts go under the axle, so I like to assemble my axle and springs and stuff. So I'll do that. I'll assemble that and glue it in place, not in place, but glue all these parts here together. And then when I can take that apart, then I can paint this assembly all at one shot. And then I can, it's all ready to go. It's got the shocks, it's got everything on it. So I can just glue it right in place with my exhaust under it. So that's why I do that. But anyway. All right, so I'm going to get busy on some bare metal foil and some other things, and I'll come back in just a sec. Stand by. All right, plug wire time. Already got the distributor. I don't paint my distributors until I'm already got the wires in them. It's just the way I do it. It's harder for me to do it, and then I'll get if I paint it already, then I'll have I'll smoke the paint up with all the super glue. So anyway, got 8 wires here. I do them about 2 inches long. Got my wires cut. Got get them all put together in one little bundle. Well, I've already jumped the gun. Hold on. I need to put some super glue first in my distributor, just a drop. So with my Bob Smith super glue, or CA glue, or what is this stuff? Cryolite? Yes, CA super glue. So I'm just going to do just a drop. This stuff always tricks me. It comes right to the end, and then all of a sudden, here it is. Okay. All right, so there's a drop of CA glue. I'll lay that down just for a second. It won't run out. Take my 8 wires. Double check. Did you have 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, have 8. Get the ends together, just like so. You don't want the one to be longer than the rest. Make sure that they are, again, really in a little small type wad. Yes, I said wad. That's just the way we talk down here in South Georgia. It's a little wad of wires. And take the distributor with the drop of super glue. Take your wires with all of them at once, without them all sticking together in junk, and try your best to get them down in there, just like that. And don't move. Then take your, what do people call this stuff? Accelerator. Some people call it a, what do they call it? There's other names for this that I've heard people say. I can't remember what it is. So now we have our wired distributor ready to go. Sometimes if you get too much, and I've said this before, but sometimes if you get too much glue in your distributor, it will wick up the wires and it will cause them to stick together, and it looks pretty bad. Hopefully that didn't happen this time. No, it did not. So get them all pulled down to make sure everything looks good. And there, it looks like a spider. Granddaddy long legs. There you go. How many legs does a spider have? 8. Look at there. Made a spider. All right, so that's that. Then, like I said, I've already got my where's me a pointer? I need a pointer. Here's one. Toothpick. And I didn't use it. I use these things for my models. So I've already got my spark plug holes drilled out. I see a little piece of plastic in that one. Anyway, so you want to take a wire just to be on the safe side and stick it in that little, make sure it goes all the way through. It's nice if you can drill through the head and into the block, because if you have a little too long, you can just keep pushing it in. Not smart if it's a real engine. I wouldn't drill through the head and into the block, but yeah, on these it's okay. It's not going to leak oil. All right, guys. So my other camera having memory issues, so I'll go with this one. So far I've got my distributor painted. So I've got my wires in my distributor, got it painted, and got the engine. Again, I've already showed you this, but got the ports, or the plug wires, or the plug holes all drilled out, ready to go. One thing that I want to, just a quick note of caution when you're doing your own plug wires. Sometimes when you mount your distributor, because this is a model, they're really not taking into consideration actual like plug wires and things. So when you mount your distributor and run your plug wires, sometimes that will interfere, because these plug wires may stick up a little higher than regular plug wires would on a real car, and sometimes they'll interfere with your breather. So it's always a good habit to test fit, make sure where your breather is going to be isn't going to interfere then with your distributor wires. If all's clear, if everything's clear there, go ahead and run them. So I'm not going to run these on camera. I just wanted to show you guys I've got plenty of other videos that I've done the plug wires. So put your distributor in place and run your wires and tidy them up and make them look good and try to make this thing look real. That's my goal. I'm going to do that off camera. Then I'm going to get some bare metal foil going on this body. So I want to start to foil the windows and the on the hood here on this thing. It has a chrome. This camera doesn't focus as quickly as another one. This one has a chrome, would be right here. And if you look at the box art, which you can't right now because I'm holding this in the camera, but there would be a, this is chrome. So it matches with your grill. So I'm going to bare metal foil that too. It says Oldsmobile on it. You may not be able to see that when I'm done, but it's so. Sometimes I am curious, how do they really expect us to paint this stuff or to detail it when the darn letters are just micro? So I'm not sure, but nevertheless, it's on there. If you can detail it, go for it. All right, so I'm going to pause the camera here. I'm going to finish my distributor wires. Come back, do some bare metal foil. Try to get some things wrapped up, some more little details. I've done minimal details to the dash. Darn camera. Can you hear that chicken crowing in the background? Yeah, I don't know if you can or not. I can. But anyway, so I got the dash detailed. Got my axle ready to go in. The chassis. I painted the chassis a semi-gloss so it would have somewhat of contrast against the flat black undercarriage there. So anyway, everything's going good. I'm gonna, like I say, get to work on my plug wires, come back, do some bare metal foil. We'll go from there. See you in a second. All right, here we go. I'm going to do some bare metal foil. So what you need to start with is your box and get a good idea of where the chrome goes. Alright, so on this one, the box is a little smushed here, but you see a band of chrome here. Runs down. But for some reason, on this car, you don't see any. But unfortunately, this body does have that that line of chrome. So I don't know why they chose to have a different car on the front than they would the actual car that you build, but who cares? It's just a few more minutes. So yeah, so you have so what I'm going to chrome is, let me grab another pointer. We're going to chrome this. We're going to chrome these lines here, door handles, the emblems that you may not be able to see, 442 emblems all around the windows, and also on the hood that I mentioned earlier. So let's get started. I'm not going to do this entire thing. The video would be like an hour long with just segments. So I've got a brand new hey, look at there, brand new sheet of the regular bare metal foil, not the ultra bright. Okay, so I always like to start on mine. I like to start on the bottoms and work my way up rather than start at the top and work my way down, because you will overlap, and it just seems to look better when your overlap is you start at the bottom and the top piece overlaps the bottom piece. So I have a little ruler here that I use. I don't necessarily use it for the rule, but I use it for a straight edge. So I'm going to get somewhat of a guesstimate. That's about 3 inches that I need from here to here. So I'm going to cut a piece about, I'm going to go wider than I need just to make life easier. I'm going to do about a 4, where's the 3? A 3.5 inch piece. I'm going to cut straight down here. If you don't do it this way, okay. This is the most opinionated hobby. I guess it is. Maybe it's not the most opinionated hobby. It's just the hobby I'm in. And it's very opinionated, by the way. This is a very opinionated hobby, but just remember, this is my model car. And I can do it how I want. And with your model car, you can do it how you want. Now, why is that not tearing? It's almost like I didn't cut through. Okay, scratch that. Let's start on this other side. Change the blade. Why didn't I do that already? Rule number 1. Change your blade. Put a brand new one in there. Okay, sorry. Wasted time on the video. Alright, here we go. About 3.5 inches. About a little bit wider than it needs to be. And a little bit more pressure to cut through. And I didn't follow the darn ruler. It walked on me, but who cares? Alright, and there. I think I cut through. Much better. Okay, already with this is the ultra bright chrome. When you did that, that thing would curl up like a pig's tail. But with the regular chrome, it does not. It's a little thicker, I think is what the deal is. Actually, this feels thicker than the last stuff I used. Alright, so I'm going to place it over where I need it. And then I'm going to take one of my brand new box of pointy little Q-tips with a point on them. I like these. I just got these, by the way, today, but when I'm making this video at least, at Family Dollar. Don't know if you have those in your area, but it's like $1 for a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to start working it in. It will contour pretty well to the shapes. And with this pointed one, you can get in there a little bit better. So press it down on the where it should be chromed. Press it down really nice, and then you'll see the definite mark where to cut it. Then we'll trim this off. I think bare metal foil has changed their foil a little bit since the last one I got. Alright, so now, come on you darn camera, focus. Okay, there we go. So now I can see where I need to cut this. This is the most difficult part, because if you cut it wrong, you got to redo it. And if you cut it too deep, you do cut into your paint. So take your time, cut very slowly and confidently. So I'm gonna try to start at the very end here with my blade, and sometimes your blade washes out into the same color of the bare metal foil, so I don't want to scare you, but also continue to reference your other side so you can remember just where it's supposed to be if you can't really tell with your bare metal foil. Okay, here we go. Up there. And a new, just like that. Darn it. A new blade will walk on you. The tip will decide to go in a direction you may not want it to. So move really, really slow and as steady as possible. Just let the razor blade follow the chrome ridge if you can. And if you can't, I don't know what to tell you. All the way through. Alright, so I cut. Should be able to now if your cut is all the way through this bottom piece here that's still showing, should be able to pull it right off without, hopefully without it pulling the paint too. Okay, this is leaving some pretty sticky residue from the foil. What you can do there, if it leaves a sticky residue, which I don't think you'll be able to see it on the camera, I can see it, is you'll take a Q-tip with some alcohol and just, it'll wipe right off. Don't saturate the bare metal foil with alcohol, however, because it will break down the glue. So, alright, now I need to deal with the portion here that is, let me zoom you in just a little bit so I don't have to keep holding it up. Okay, so now we need to cut into where these windows are. So I'll just take my blade and I'll find the corner of where this pillar comes down and meets, and I'll put my blade in, and then I'll just cut at an angle. And this is not focused so you can see it, I apologize. So I just cut that at an angle, and in here the same thing. I'm going to go right into the corner, and then I'm going to try to stay as even as possible and go right out. And then I'll take my one more place right here. I'll take my Q-tip and I'll roll that around. Press it in. And then I will cut, because there is the pillar here on the car will be paint right there, but it will be chrome here and chrome on the other side. So I will press this on in here like so, that way you can see right where the chrome line is, and I'll take and cut that off. Hopefully you're able to see this. I apologize if the camera's not focusing properly. So we're going to cut it straight up here, just like so. And then hopefully, I like to use a toothpick sometimes to help me pick up my, I don't have any fingernails. Yes, I bite my fingernails all the time, even if there's nothing to bite. Somehow I find something to bite. Okay, didn't cut that all the way through. Okay, there we go. But anyway, I don't have fingernails, so it's hard for me to pick that stuff up, so I'll use a toothpick. And the more you work, this bare metal foil in, the more definite your lines are. So don't be afraid to press in on it. These seem to have a stronger tip, so maybe go get you some of these. And because the tip is somewhat pointy, at least when you start, and then it wraps around, so then you got to deal with this. Come on, darn camera. You've got to deal with the so it's wrapped around here, the chrome is, and you can trim that off if you need to. If you need to leave it, leave it. If it's going to be someplace where it can be hidden. Sometimes on these window pillars and all, I'll leave it and paint right over it, but sometimes you need to cut it off. Like right there, I'm going to cut that piece off. It's already in place. I'm just going to run my razor knife right down it there. And I think I need to get that piece stuck a little better. Anyway, okay, so that's basically what you do. And then now I'll go and I will do the same thing on the top. More than likely what I'll do is I'll run this a separate piece, and then I'll run that channel. And it will give you, your chrome will look, there are chrome paints that I've even looked into here lately. I wish this camera would focus better, I'm sorry. But there are chrome paints that seem to be really good, but you still have to mask it off if you want to spray it. So you have to mask it off. So I think bare metal foil is a great product to chrome things with, and that's what I'll probably continue to use. You can use it on the windshield wipers, which I will be chroming the windshield wipers and the door handles and all those things. So that's just a quick tutorial on how I do the bare metal foil. Not that you can really see it because the camera won't focus, but that's what I do. Don't know how you guys do it, but again, that's how I do it, and it turns out to look pretty nice. So I do like bare metal foil. Hopefully it stays consistent, because this is the second sheet I've got, and it seems to be a thicker material than the first batch. And then the second batch I got was the ultra bright, and it is horrible. I don't know why they this looks ultra bright to me. The chrome, it's really shiny. But anyway, enough blabbing. I'll go to something else. Just stand by a second. Alright, so I have completed this one window, and I do notice a difference in this chrome and the initial chrome that I used to use. The first sheet that I had may have been an older sheet. This is the rest of it. I began to run in a bunch of cracks and things where it started to kind of rip. But this stuff is like tissue paper thin also, but it didn't curl when you pulled it off. I don't really use this sheet now because of the damage. And then this sheet, the new one, just to fill it, it's much heavier, seems to be thicker. I would say probably just a little bit more difficult to actually work into the cracks and crevices. But all in all, it's darn. I've said that 100 times right. This darn camera, but this darn camera will not focus right there. So I've got this window done. It does look really, really good. It's got great color. It does leave a little glue residue, and again, all you do is take a Q-tip with a little alcohol, and you can clean that right up. All right. So show you one other thing I've got almost completed. The chassis. So I've got the engine in it, this is great looking. Oldsmobile engines, I think personally, are great looking engines. This is a little bent, but I'm getting this all together. Got the interior in. Then I'm going to run my exhaust, because you have this two-part chassis. You have to have your chassis mounted before you can onto your floor pan before you can run your exhaust. So I'm about to run the exhaust, and then I'll be able to mount my rear end. Then I'll be able to kind of tidy up and complete this part of the build. But I don't want this video to run so long, so I'm going to cut this at part 1. But before that, really quick, I love the finish that I get with my exhaust. Most of my exhaust, I will guys, I don't know why this darn camera does this. It picks up that grid, I think what it is. So my exhaust, I don't show you, I didn't video what I do, but I always black or spray my exhaust black. So I spray them black. And let me get this paint on to show you if I can find it. Here it is. And then I mist coat, and I've said this in other videos, but I mist coat this kind of a flat silver epoxy or appliance paint. It says epoxy. It doesn't. I don't care if it's epoxy or not, but I mist coat that onto my exhaust, and it gives it a very, very realistic color and look. And although I don't turn my models over often, it is nice to have a detailed exhaust system. So I go and I spray or mist coat them. That way you get this kind of real light spotted effect that the black still kind of shows through, gives you somewhat of shadows. but yet it's a new exhaust, and it's going to look great. And it's going to stand out. It's going to look great. This is a nice kit. I'm enjoying doing it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This is going to be end part 1, and part 2, when I come back, I'll basically have everything built. I'll finish up with the bare metal foil. I'll install the windows, all those things. But this video would be extremely long if I did it all on one, so it's going to be part 1. If you hadn't already, guys, please go over to our Facebook group and join. We're having a great time there. Model Car Videos Facebook group. How unique of a name is that, you know? But anyway, go over there and join and display your stuff. Let's talk. Let's discuss. Let's brag on ourselves, because that's what it's there for. Also, if you haven't already gone over to Hobby Nut Models, go over there and check out Mark's inventory. He's constantly updating his inventory. If you like old NASCAR kits, go over, check him out, because he's got a lot of those. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. Things are going great. You guys are subscribing. Yeah, and I'm just having a great time with this. But thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for all the things that you guys do in helping this channel grow. And this is going to be a sweet looking Oldsmobile 442, and it's going to be completed in video number 2. And I'm going to sign off now, video number 1. But again, guys, you have a great day. Stay safe, and see you on part 2. You guys take care. Bye.